in all my adult life, I'm not sure I've ever seen my dad cry. Like, I'm not sure I've ever seen him cry. But there was this incident that happened that made my dad cry in public like a baby. Like, what happened? Omo, you have to draw your chair closer because this gist is totally juicy. And what's your time? So sometime last year, my dad decided to celebrate his birthday because he was going to be retiring that same year, almost that same period, and his wedding anniversary. He also wanted to mark it, but this time he wanted to make it very, very loud, like very, very loud. And for the longest time, like when he brought the idea to us, it was a kind of mixed feeling. On one hand, he was retiring. We needed all the money we could lay our hands on, and giving a lavish party was not the road to take, in our opinion. And then on the other hand, we wanted him to have a party that he could remember, a party that he would be able to immerse himself in and he would enjoy without us feeling like, okay, I wish we did not, or we did that or something. So it just came with its own mixed feeling. But at the end of the day, this man was resolute that he will celebrate this birthday, come what may, and he wanted to celebrate it in the loudest of way. He wanted to reenact his wedding day. He started with a certain budget, and before you knew, we had exceeded that budget, and we're just splunging. Like, we wanted this one, wanted that one, all ah, all Papa Hafa, all Kuku tell us that we want to marry again, but we rallied around him. I was pregnant as at this time. September 3rd happens to be a Saturday, and September 4th happens to be a Sunday. So it was perfect. So he would do the party on a Saturday, then he would do his Thanksgiving on the Sunday. And me, heavily pregnant me, I was like, how am I going to do this thing? Because I knew that everybody would be relying on me for their makeup. We cannot have a makeup artist in the house and we are going to book another person. Do you get? So I kept praying to God and I kept talking to my son that Omo, you just need to come correct, because I have that kind of belief that when I talk to my son, he just behaves himself. The day came for them to go for pre-birthday shoots. Are you seeing how big this birthday was going to be? Like, they went for a pre-birthday shoot. I did my mom's makeup. I mean, she's not a makeup kind of person, but she sat down for me to do her makeup. And when I did she was like, Kinechi, this is not too much. I was like, calm down, calm down. So they did the pre-wedding. You see, I'm saying pre-wedding because it was change of clothes. My father came correct. All his clothes were arranged, everything. That man was totally ready for this package. My mom, on the other hand, she went to work. She hadn't arranged that thing, so it was just a case of bring this one, bring the that one, and somehow, the pre-birthday shoot or pre-anniversary shoot happened. So it was now to the date to the birthday. I was just agitated, like, Omo, I need to be very, very okay for this. And that night I prayed to God, I talked to my baby, and I went to bed. And I wanted to also cook because I didn't want a situation where our friends, because my husband was inviting some of his friends over, I didn't want a situation whereby our friends would come around and we'll go to the caterer, they'll tell us there was no food or something. I didn't just want that situation, so I wanted to cook. So I woke up very early in the morning, made fried rice, and I had that strength. And then I did my own makeup, and then I ran to my studio to do my mom's makeup and did my siblings and tied gillies. Like, the gillies I tied that day, I don't know where I got that strength. We still went to church. And
one more time. Happy anniversary, happy anniversary, happy anniversary, happy anniversary.
The reception started just like play, like play.
Now, swag with swag. Now you take one with swag. Now, mommy, are you ready? Are you ready? Okay, let it come, let it come. And action. You are happy. Everybody saw that style.
And the next thing we are hearing is that this family had the gift for my dad, and then they took the mic and then
Fatherly figure to each and every one of us. You have been a friend to this family. You have worked hard for this family. You have labored for this family. And out of your goodness, the family presents to you now a Highlander chief. A Highlander chief. A Highlander chief to partner. Thank you. Thank you. Now, please, whatever you will go with me, you will go with me. You go.
God will bless you people. God will bless you people.
That's great. My darling, pack him up. It is well, that's good. Yes.
hey, Omo, let me take you guys back to a certain time. My dad was using a Mitsubishi for years, and we got to a particular time. The Mitsubishi started having problems, they're giving us issue, and we're just managing it because we couldn't just risk taking. My dad is a civil servant, so borrowing money was like a far-fetching thing for us. So we're just managing. And then my younger sister was in secondary school. It was our visiting day. So we had prepared, my mommy had prepared food for her, prepared the food we were going to take to our school to see her. She was on afternoon duty on that day. So we packed. My daddy called one of his colleagues to come pick us when he was ready. We had been ready long time ago. My dad had to call the man and say, ah, whenever you are ready, we are waiting for you. Oh." So the man said, oh, no problem, no problem. Okay. Omo, we're waiting. We're waiting. We're waiting. We did not see this man. At the point, my dad was like, ah, what is holding this man? And then now put a call through to the man. Oh. The man say, ah, Mr. Oma, hey, I don't forget though. Hey, I thought people have already gone. So I just went, I ran to the that thing, it touched me. I didn't even have I wasn't so knowledgeable, but it made me feel a certain type of way. Not talk of my dad. My dad was so sober. He felt so bad, and he just said, let us carry the Mitsubishi to the school. The school was not so far. We stay in Asaba, and my sister was schooling in a boarding school at Iseluku. So the distance was not so far. So my dad said, anyhow it is, we will drive the car and shall go. And that was how everybody jumped into the car, and we carried ourselves to go to the school. Like, we were slow, walked slow, we drove slow and steady to the school, did our stuff and all. The man didn't even have the courtesy to come and apologize to my dad. Like, it just felt it was a normal thing. But I knew that my dad felt very bad about that. And when he came back, he said he was going to get a car for himself. And I don't know how he pulled that, but I know that he borrowed some money, added the ones he could get, and got himself an Islander. That felt like, ah, okay, thank God, finally we now have a big car in the house. Okay, ah, God has elevated us and all that. Although the arrangement was that they were going to be removing a certain amount from his salary every month until the full payment was made and all that. Whew. 1 month later, my dad was going for a meeting. He had carried that car to the village. He had carried the car to the village prior to this time. So on this particular day, he was going for a meeting, and he told us that he was going for this meeting. And everybody said, okay. He entered the car and then he left. Not long after, my mom's phone started ringing. It rang the first time. I ignored it. My cousin ignored it. Second, my cousin came and told me that my mommy's phone was ringing. I was like, ah, my mom is never with her phone. It's called a handset. It's not called a table set or a parlor set. She should come and pick her phone if at all. When the thing continued ringing and ringing and ringing, it just kept ringing off the hook. And I had to carry the phone to go and give her in the garden. And I ran to her like, mommy, this phone has been ringing since and all that. And then she picked the call, and the next thing she said was Jesus. And then she dropped the phone. I now picked the phone. I was like, what's going on? They said my daddy had an accident and so and so. Omo, see my mommy being like one crazy person. Thankfully, while my dad was buying his own car, she bought her own car too, a very small one. So we entered the car, and they told us where the accident had happened. And when we got there, that car was pretty much written off. Like, it was a write-off. It was a miracle that my dad came out of that car. If you see the passenger side of the car, as I'm even talking, I can even remember how that car was. Passenger car side of the car was squeezed. Like, it was squeezed. If anybody was seated in that place, the person would have totally died. And then the news we were hearing was that car stumbled. Like, it stumbled a gazillion times, 7 times, and it was going straight for the ditch, because where it was, like, what happened was the car, somebody was trying to turn. The person, my dad was driving. Normally, the person was supposed to trafficate or something. The person just came out of nowhere, and was turning. My dad was coming. He couldn't hold his brake. Before he could even say, let him hold brake, because he didn't see this person coming. He didn't see him. Like, the person came, there was no traffication, there was nothing. He just entered. And no, so my dad could even say, okay, let him hold brake and everything. The thing has screeched and hit this thing, stumbled, hit another car. It was even the car that slowed it down a little. Then the thing started rolling, like tumbling, and was going straight for the ditch. Thankfully, there was a sand that somebody piled somewhere, and that was what was able to wedge the car. Then my dad came out of that car, and one man even had to go to where his rosary fell into, carry the rosary and say, "Oga, take, that this thing save you." So it was a miracle. We even had to sell that car in parts and pieces because we didn't want to pack the debris in the compound so that my dad would not think and get into depression. So we just had to sell those things, parts and particles, to get as much money that the car could the remains of the car could afford or could get for us, to augment. And the man just continued this life, and for the longest time he could not get another car for himself. Yeah, my mommy has been sharing my mom's car, so whenever he wants to use it, he drives her to her office and he carries the car, and they have just been managing the way they can manage. I mean, life is for the living, right? So this was a big breakthrough for him, so I could understand why the man was crying, because he wasn't expecting it. And given the fact that he was using, like, the retirement, when he was trying to mark this birthday or trying to mark this retirement or whatever celebration you want to call it, I'm not sure that man saw that coming. So it was emotional. It was so emotional. Like, Omo, I was so happy for him. And then the birthday came and went. I was able to deliver on my makeup. I was able to come through, to come correct for the party. I was everywhere. My husband was kept shouting like, "Babe, go and sit down. I don't want to hear that one." Oh my, I was everywhere. It's my dad's birthday. It's my parents' anniversary. What's up? Thankfully, I think later in the evening, I was so tired. I couldn't even walk. I got myself to the house, and it was a beautiful celebration. I was so happy for my dad, and thankfully, so far so good. The car has been serving him, and we, the family members, are totally grateful for the family that see my dad as the woman basically sees my dad as a father. She's a family friend. She was very impactful when I was wedding, and has just been there, sha. So she sees my dad as her father, and I think she just wanted to give him something that he was never going to forget. And I'm very sure that man will never forget that. So at the end of the day, I was very grateful that my dad decided to celebrate that birthday. I was very grateful for how everything found out. I was very grateful for life, grateful for the man that he was able to celebrate it while he was sane and everything, not when old age will come and take whatever he wants to take and leave the man just there. So yeah, that's the story of my dad getting a beautiful car on his birthday. And I really hope you guys enjoyed this story. I really hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, by all means, drop a comment in the comment section, give this video a thumbs up, subscribe, yeah, subscribe to the channel, and of course I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye bye.